I will begin this report by emphasizing due to the variety of the human ground forces, a second part is required. This is the only segment of the human military that will require two separate parts. I will continue where I left off yesterday, Ambassador. At least, while I can still call you that. Section 2. The Army, Part 2. Now, the Royal Black Watch you see escorting the human ambassador around the complex and to important meetings. The ones standing in the room with you are just the first part of the units I wish to highlight. Our second unit of the human military is the Russian Spetsnaz. Up until their bloody unification, yes, the humans still today fight each other occasionally, but once the unification was complete, the Russian military disbanded its conscription law, and their Spetsnaz became their core unit donated to the human military. I want you to understand that this is a volunteer force who is paid the same amount of money per year as one of our Falcon Ball elite players, roughly 1.2 million to 2 million galactic energy credits per year. I haven't made that much in 10 years. Now that might seem like a cushy job, but they must earn it to continue to earn and prove themselves. They begin their training on day 1 with waterboarding. Yes, the outlawed torture activity banned galactically in all its forms. They begin with. Their willpower must be tested to the extreme, and before they even have a ranged weapon of any sort, they are trained in close quarters combat. The actual first range weapons they are given are throwing knives and tomahawks. A tomahawk is a type of axe that humans use for close combat and throwing. Their tomahawk test must be graduated with perfection. That test is obscene. A candidate, which reminds you humans do not have feathers or wings to aid in airborne activities, must jump off a springboard into the air, perform a backflip and nail a target the size of a talon digit with this unaerodynamic light throwing axe, an object we might use for lumber harvesting. They must do this 10 times in a single day without a miss. The examples of their work can be found in your office, Ambassador Volmira. We have found intelligence gathering bugs in your office no less than 107 times. There is one right now in the pen you are likely drafting your declaration of war right now. Yes, your favorite pen has been replaced, and we are aware of it. Simply put, the Spetsnaz are so good at sneaking in and out, without us noticing, until months after the fact. We simply have given up on removing the bug they plant. I do not know how. We've increased sensor spread, tripled our security guard, placed grates and barriers without air ducts, even biometric shields in every single entrance. The air vents were narrowed too. Yet somehow a Spetsnaz sneaks into your office, plants a bug of some sort and leaves. We do not know when they get there or how, only that we detect the bug about a week later when it sends its transmission. All that, without them being given a single modern weapon of any sort. If they possess such a weapon, even an old chemical propellant one, they will be detected immediately. And every year they must pass all their exams, as well as an exam now which includes sneaking into your office to plant the bug, to prove their worthiness to remain in their unit. These are a people who live in a place where the temperature gets so far below freezing, it has been known to freeze internal combustion engines solid, and the primitive fuel gasoline. Even alcohol can be frozen in this place. This is not a people we wish to make war upon. But further, humanity is illustrated by their Australian units. See, upon the human world, which is classified a death world for a reason, Australia is referred to as a death world within a death world. In Australia are creatures no larger than the tip of your claws. Small arachnids, reptiles, amphibians, octopi, which are an alien species on the Terran homeworld planet. And these small floating creatures with long thin tentacles called jellyfish. All can kill you with a single bite. In some cases you won't even realize you've been bitten. The bite is so tiny and will kill you within 10 minutes. Furthermore, this place has sharks, but unlike the Nidratians, who are humanoid sharks roughly a demi-macron in length, they possess such creatures that exceed 5 demi-macrons in length and are not sentient. They will eat you. You don't even have to be in the water, just near it, as the things can jump nearly twice their body length out of the water, at nearly 40 demi-macrons per hour. They willingly choose to live in this place on their planet. Ancient reptile predators that are nearly a metric ton in weight and carry jaws that can crush a human skull in 1 microsecond bite, they keep as pets. Yet this is not what we should truly fear the Australians for. It is for their use of fire. You see, nearly 600 years ago, humans resurrected an ancient idea. What if I shoot fire at my enemy? The Australians have embraced this to a level I was not prepared for. You see, back in their ancient civilization, which is when we began spacefaring, the humans lived in wooden and marble buildings, or in some regions they lived in mud huts. However, within a place called Greece, their navy embraced a chemical known as Greek fire. The humans are sometimes not the most creative with their names. This substance burns water. You heard me correctly, it burns water. You can set water on fire with this stuff. The modern version is called napalm. The Australians have decided this is the answer to all military problems. Every single infantry squad, roughly made of 11 soldiers, carries 2 of these weapons. They storm automatic weapon emplacements, artillery positions, hardened bunkers, jungles, swamps, snow-covered Alps, it matters not to them. They will light it ablaze, and make the fire our problem. A reminder, our feathers are flammable, unlike human skin. You would think this would be a logistical problem of how to get flammable weapons to a planet without running out of such a liquid or committing to resupply. But the humans had developed a way to have a backpack charge and create this chemical passively from a combination of water, atmospheric gases, and any flora. They literally have more than 3 million combinations of a fluid, gas, and flora that will create a napalm-like substance that can burn water, and fire extinguishing gear is useless until it burns out. Only through suffocation of the fire can it truly be put out. This is the Australians, the death foes from a death war's most deadly continent, who happen to love fire. Now I will speak of the Canadians, the most deceptive berserker variant of human, if not species, in the entire galaxy. You see, Canadians will be incredibly nice to you, the nicest I've ever met, but they have a sport called hockey. Understanding this sport seems on the surface to be suicidally strange. First of all, this takes place upon a frozen lake, and the Canadians use metal blades to cut across the ice, making it weaker with every passing second, and if the ice should break, it will kill them, as they will have almost no chance to get to the surface before drowning. Second, they are given large wooden sticks in a strange shape to move a small black disc across the ice between goals. This seems mostly harmless except the lake part, but then the referees do not break up full-on fights. Understand that humans do not possess talons, claws, horns, quills, armor, incisors, or for that matter, any second natural weapon of any sort. Their teeth are blunt. Their skin is completely exposed save for a thin layer of hair, which offers no protection, as the humans often shave it off. Yet when they fight, they ball up their hands into fists, similar to how we perform a punch, and will hammer on each other until they've killed their opponent with blunt force trauma. No special maneuver, no specific attack, just brutal, repeatedly blunt force trauma. Humans have a sport where they encourage players who are moving on a vulnerable lake of ice, with shoes that possess actual metallic blades, long wooden sticks, and full contact slamming into each other, at up to 37 demimacrons per hour, or hitting a small disc made of solidified oil and rubber towards goals at speeds their land vehicles would consider dangerous and reckless to approach. If the disc struck one of their number, it would likely kill them with its lethal velocity in the air. All that as a sport. Canadians take this so seriously, this sport of hockey, that entire riots have happened in their cities over a team winning. Notice I said, they won. It still resulted in a riot. Further upon the battlefield, this mentality of hockey is taken with them. Imagine dealing with a people who lose all of their sanity for the sole purpose of moving a small disc into a cloth net, or dangerously skating with metal blades across a frozen lake. Our troops would cry, trying to fight these people. Please note that these techniques of slap shots through the air with small rubbers are known to crack the opposing player's hardened body armor if it strikes it, and without armor, destroy human bones which are 4 times the thickness and hardness of our own. I will retire for now, but in my next transcribing session I will detail the Blue Water Navy and Human Air Force. Yes, they still have those obsolescent things, and have somehow made them not obsolete. Not only are they relevant, they are lethal to our fleet. I will explain in the second memo of this intel report for you, Ambassador Vormira. While technologically inferior, they take the various pieces of technology to extremes never before envisioned by anyone who created such devices. The human are insane, from torture of their own people to berserker rages, to taking their elite special forces to a level that no race dare take their military. Remember, they live on a death world. Not only do they live there, they thrive upon them. Even worlds that do not have oxygen atmospheres, they have colonized. Whether for resources, space for their population, or just to make a fortress world. Yes, the humans have a concept called a fortress, which is solely there to defend a point. Humanity is terrifying, and I recommend against war with them, at all costs. End Section 2. The Army, Part 2. Sincerely, Admiral of the Fleet, Flickar. Admiral of the Fleet from circa 2402 to 2504. P.S. Please, next time you see the Earth Ambassador, inform them I wish to speak to Rear Admiral Hirohito and miss spending time with her grandchildren. Even if the ghosts of war loom, we must remember our sentience, Ambassador, and I would like some free time with the family of the late friend.